Welcome into the year in review. It has been a second since I've been in the 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10 chair all by myself. We're going to have a little bit of fun today. Obviously, this was a unique year, I think is a good way to say it. Started out totally normal, January. We had my boy Joe Wilkie on the show kick off the new season right here in the office. It was awesome. February, wife and I did some traveling to California, Yosemite, some hiking, etc. It was wonderful. And then March comes, and then the world changes, almost seemingly overnight. Over the next 60 days, March to April, were some of the most stressful moments, I think, of my car business career. This is someone who's lived through 9/11, lived through 08. I found that to be, again, one of the most stressful times. There was still a debate about, were we essential? Look, if this doesn't prove it to local government, I have no idea what will. Car dealers, both sales and service, are absolutely essential in any time of need in this country. Ever. We move on from March into April, things get even weirder. A lot of us are stuck at home, which, again, I've said this before to friends, I'll say it to you guys, you're all friends there. That's not that weird to me. So I usually just hike and stay home and work. So again, not that odd to me. But seeing how it started to change the behaviors around me was interesting. People who I normally, would hear talk about Ubers or public transportation, etc., were talking about the car buying purchase. And that was interesting to me because it's something that obviously come May, there was a little bit of light right at the end of the tunnel. We get back to manufacturing cars, putting cars on the ground, and then things just absolutely took off. From June through September, I would call it almost the highest tide of the car business that I've been in. Seeing the numbers, how big they were, whether it was used car value, it was new car units, the low number of units on lots was jarring at points in August, September, driving to dealerships and seeing just so much vacancy, right? There hadn't been cars hitting the ground yet. It was super, super weird. But the OEMs figured out how to get things back up. They became more efficient. That's something I think a lot of people should understand about the new year. About the previous year, I suppose. 2020, is that there's a lot to it. And although I know you'll be watching this and it's still not the official end of the year, it's damn close, right? So I think we're all on the same page that the year as it is was full of lessons, both good and bad, but lessons all the same. And so vendors, I know they learned a valuable lesson both in overhead and in structure, probably also in billing. I know that we learned something that our clients depend on us even more. So we were even busier during this whole thing. And I think it really speaks to the desire to understand where the money is, where it goes, how it comes back, what's the value of certain things. And I couldn't have been happier for us to be able to provide that sort of balance to our clients and our partners to just say, look, here's what it's going to look like. Here's what the data is. And looking at data got insane. I mean, it really, really, really was odd. Now, October, still there. Top of the records. Boom, done. November had that weird election thing, which, from a data perspective, traffic, how expensive it got, the same thing happened 4 years ago. Sales this year, at least from what I saw, seemed a little bit more sluggish this year than of in November, of 4 years ago. However, lots are still different. I still don't think the supply chain is completely caught up, obviously, across the board. So I think there's still major issues there. So December will end better than November did, which is awesome. But now it's about, what happens, moving forward. And remember, people at the end of 2019 couldn't have been more happy to get rid of it. Now, I assume we would have all taken a 2019 over a 2020, but you'd assume wrong. Because people set records in 2020. Whether that's grocery stores, car dealerships, unfortunately, any medical facilities. I mean, this is record business. And I know it's maybe insensitive to say, but it's a reality. So when you look around and you hear and see all the devastation, all was not lost in 2020. As a business, car business was extremely adaptable. As humans, we were even more adaptable. As hard as it was, here you sit, the end of December. If I would have told you it would have come this fast, because it has. Whether you were locked in your house or not in April, it is now December. That shit happened fast. It really did. So, takeaway for me is be careful the rush to the digital retail. Having done that, OEMs got in bed, then started forcing their dealers to have it, therefore taking over their websites. The reality is most people are using it after the communication cycle has started, so it doesn't belong on the front half of a website. It belongs as an opportunity of how would you like to move forward. Some really exciting people are doing great things in this space. Keep a lookout. There's big dealer groups doing it. There are big vendors like Gubagoo and Ryan Austin and his team doing it, pretty outstanding things with it, because it's about the journey. It's about offering the opportunity. But still, survey says, even during a pandemic, customers want to be in your stores. It's weird, man. I know it sounds crazy. That's what they want. So give them what they want. When you look back at the year, I'm thankful for all of the guests. I'm thankful for all the opportunities that we were given. Thank you so much to all the wonderful women of the Card Biz for season 3. That was all great. Most of all, great job to everyone for getting through it. You worked hard, kept your head down, and you moved forward. So keep it up, and join me next week as we get into lessons for a new year.